can speak with the 3 C's that we all strive for in public speaking, which is confidence, conviction and clarity. So, we will look at the 3 key areas of public speaking, which we class as the 3 S's. We've spoken about the 3 C's, now we're on to the 3 S's. Each area begins with S. Now, when we're going to speak in public, what do we think is the first area that we need to consider? Begins with S.
Subject.
Subject. Straight in there with subject. Can't have a speech without the subject. Otherwise, it's a mime. You can't do this for 45 minutes. Gets a bit tedious. Now, each area we're going to break down into 3 elements. There are more, but keeping it to 3 makes it easiest for us to absorb. Now, when we're talking about subject, we need to consider what and why. We need to consider who and how. I will be giving these out at the end in a handout, but feel free to take notes. And the third, which we will never break down into 2 words when one is good enough, passion. Now, the what and the why. What are you going to talk about? Why should anyone listen? We've touched on the subject perfectly. We are people driven by emotion. We're not driven by logic. So, when we consider what we're going to talk about, we need to find an emotional hook. And normally we have a member here called Darren who deals with insurance. I was going to use him. I still will, which means I can say anything. Darren deals with insurance. Now, if Darren said, I'm going to give a speech on insurance, most of us would go, great. Insurance is boring. But if Darren said, I'm going to talk about the security and the peace of mind that insurance gives you, knowing that if anything should happen to you or your business, your family still have the roof over their head, the food on their table, that makes it more interesting. Because we're using emotive words. We're talking about family, security, peace of mind. We're talking about the roof over their head, the food on the table. So whatever we talk about, we need to find an emotional hook. The next part, the who and the how. Who are you talking to? Important, because you need to make sure you're talking to the right people. No point getting up and giving a speech about how great dogs are and how they're the best pet anyone could ever have if your audience is made up of members of the Cat Defence League. Because let's face it, you're going to be up giving your speech and they're all going to be in the audience like that. You'll be chucking out catnip, trying to calm them down. Bring on the big ball of cotton. So you need to know who it is you're talking to. And the how relates to how well do they know your subject? If you're an expert on your subject and you use technical jargon and lots of very intricate, detailed terminology, but your audience is made up of novices, it's going to go straight over their head. They're not going to get it, and then that's it. They'll switch off. Conversely, if you talk in very basic terms, and you're talking to a bunch of experts, they might find it quite patronising and get bored and switch off. So we need to consider who are we talking to and bring our speech knowledge to their level. We need to be speaking on other people's level. And the third area, passion. Whatever you're going to be talking about, make sure you speak with passion. If your subject doesn't get you fired up, it's not going to get anyone else fired up. You need to make sure that whatever it is you're talking about, you feel passionate about it. Otherwise, you're not going to keep that interest. So the area of subject, what are you going to talk about? Why? Where's that emotional hook? Who are your audience? How well do they know your subject? Tailor your speech to their level. And speak with passion. We can't monotone our way all the way through it. The next area that we need to consider, so we've covered our subject. What's the next area that we think we need to cover with regards to public speaking? Beginning with an S. We've got our subject. Structure. How are you going to put the speech together? This again taps into knowing what you're going to talk about and how you're going to talk about it. Because very often it's the structure that people struggle with. They have this great subject, but putting it down on paper in words, very often people struggle with that area. The good thing is that it doesn't matter if you have a speech that's 3 minutes long or 3 hours long, the structure remains the same. Simply, we structure it like a 3-course meal. So, how do we structure our speech? You have starter, then on to the main course, and then finish with the dessert. The starter can be, as we started this evening, which can be a statement. You can start with a statement, you can start with a question, you can start with a quote. Starter gets people thinking and it leads on to the main course. It sets the direction for the rest of the speech. So it signposts. You start off with a statement or a question or a quote, and then this evening we will be discussing. So you lead on to the main course. The main course is meat, veg of your speech. This is where you have the bulk of your information, and you mix it up. You keep plenty of variety, so your vocal tones, your gestures, your body language. There needs to be a lot going on with the main bulk of your speech. Facts and figures are good, but that's not enough to keep people's interest. So it's not the roast beef that makes a Sunday lunch. It's all the trimmings that come with it. So in the main part of your speech, that's where we bulk it out with information. Keep plenty of variety going on. And then with the dessert, at this stage, your audience have had quite a lot to digest. So you just want to leave it with a little bit of information for them to take away. Which means if you start with a statement or a question, you could finish with a statement or a question. Just something very brief for them to take away so they know that's the definite end of your speech. So the structure of a speech, very, very simple. Starter, main course, dessert. Make sense?